World is run by the people who own banks, who make pharmaceutical drugs, and who make guns and bullets. Those are the three major like hold-ups of our government right now. And this government that we have in every country, every single country, is based in the exact same organisation as those who destroyed Alexandria in 48 BC. Democracy and the ideal of, a nation run by the people's vote died with Alexandria. We have had no control since then. That was the moment when this organisation, this group stemmed out, because Alexandria then was the Romans, and then Romans became the Holy Romans, who then became the majority of Europe government then, and then Europe's government went to the New World, to America, and America installed governments all across South America and Asia. So all these current governments are still practically, I have no idea how people are so ignorant to this fact, when literally you can just draw straight lines from that one event, which was the catalyst for just the destruction of freedom, and it just draws straight down to it from every government, pulls back to that. Like, they say Alexandria was an accident. There was no way such a thing was an accident. It was a total deliberate act of erasing the history up until that, before that point. If you don't know, the Library of Alexandria it contained everything that happened prior. It was like the absolute archive of human history prior, and then that was destroyed, burnt down by the Roman army on accident. They accidentally set it on fire while fleeing, supposedly. But I don't think it was an accident. It very clearly wasn't an accident. They just wanted to erase that so they could have this clean slate to start building their own narrative, which would then push, the same people in charge then, who are, the ancestors, not hereditarily, I couldn't say that in another video, and not hereditarily descendants of, but are, of the same organisation and group, or whatever it is that is running in the background. It is the same people founding it as in control now. So they've built this narrative, and they are just pushing for complete control, because the most famous, not famous, you don't know them, that's the thing, the most powerful, influential and financially gifted people in the world are people who take land and say they own it, who fund both sides of every war. There are 5 families who say have the most influence, and if you want to guess, how did they make their money? Guns, bullets, banks, land, and oil. War makes the most money, but that's what they do. That's how they've got to this point where there is no freedom. It is this system of control that they have literally been moulding since fucking the Roman times. Trust me, this sounds insane. Like, I sound like a kook saying this, but research yourself. Like, it's dead true. Like, genuinely. Of course, they have tried to hide it through history with their whole, blacklisting and redacted parts of history, but it's there still. The evidence lines up. Like, you're gonna sit there and tell me that every single US president is a blood relative, and that is pure coincidence? Come on. Every single. And the monarchs of ancient civilizations just so happen to be, the cousins and distant uncles and aunts 20 times away of fucking European monarchs. No fucking way is that a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. Yes, of course, naturally everyone is going to have some very weak form of relation, but it's the kind of relation that does not show up on any test. It's that distant. But come on, you can't sit there and say that there's no behind the scenes background something. If it's not a group, it's a movement of people, or organisation. I say organisation, but everyone takes that word as something else. But Come on. It is one steady thing since 48 till now, 48 BC till now, that has been structuring and moulding and creating the world we live in so they can have full control, full power. This is the real tea. Like, seriously. In your mind and research this shit. Free yourself from... Of course, we can't free ourselves from the actual like net they hold over us, but we can free ourselves, our minds of it, and advocate that this is a fucking thing that's actually happening. So just don't let yourself just go, no way, that's not true, and just... Because your silence, just you not going against it, not questioning it, is just exactly what they want. It's that compliance. So just give it a look. I know it sounds crazy, but give it a look, and I swear you will be like, what the fuck? Because it is. Like, I did not believe it for so long, but now it's just so clear as I've looked more and more into it. So that's it. You have no freedom. You are controlled.